Hi, 8th grade. This is round 2 of the WordMaster 2. So I'm going to get right into it because I'd like to get done quickly here. The first word that you'll find on your list is greenhorn. It is a noun. It's a person noun. A greenhorn is somebody who is green, meaning they're fresh, they're new at something. So greenhorn is one who's new at something, who's inexperienced, who perhaps is easily tricked. Greenhorn would be like, somebody who's new on the job and everybody tries to play tricks on them just to make sure that they stay in their place. Okay, you guys are going to be greenhorns in a few months, 6 months or so. Okay, the next word is burnish. Burnish is a verb, and all it means is to polish. Okay, so what came to mind when I saw that word was thinking about how in Henry V all the armor is coming out, and so the armorers would be burnishing the armor, polishing it, making it shine. Inscrutable. Inscrutable is an adjective, that able ending, pretty typical. Scrutable means that you can look at it, you could scrutinize it, you can investigate it, you could look at it, you could observe it, you could pick it apart bit by bit. So let's add the able makes it adjective, but add the opposite in, scrutable, means you cannot scrutinize it, you cannot investigate it, it's mysterious, you can't pick it to pieces to figure it out. Okay, it remains mysterious, you can't figure it out. Okay, deference is a noun, and deference is when you out of respect or like some gentlemen who are chivalrous and are showing deference might allow a lady to go first in the door. Okay, if you allow, like tonight on the way home on the train, out of deference, a gentleman got up because there was an older lady who got on the train and all the seats were taken, and he got up out of deference and let her have his seat. So out of respect. Okay, so he yielded his seat. Okay, foment. Foment is it's a verb, and it means to incite or to stir up trouble. Okay, some people just like to do that. They like to instigate. They like to kind of cause issues, and if they foment trouble, means they're stirring it up. They're either gossiping or they're well, did you know so-and-so said this about you? And just trying to stir up, to foment trouble. That's how that word is used. Vapid. Vapid means lifeless, dull. It's an adjective. Okay. Did I tell you foment is a verb? I think I did. Okay. And deference is a noun. Vapid is just lackluster, lifeless, dull. If sometimes a lesson, if you're particularly tired, it might seem vapid that day. Okay. Just not particularly interesting. Okay. Patina is a noun, and it's very specific. It's a greenish film that covers old, like bronze, and it kind of makes it look antiquish, so people like it. Okay, it's kind of an ornamental sort of film that it just happens. I guess the oxygen or something causes the metal to turn a little greenish, and or get this film on it that's greenish, and it kind of makes it an antique like, or gives it an antique like look. Okay. A seed, which is CEDE. This means, well, it's the act of formally surrendering. So if you cede some land, then it would be formally giving it up, making it formal, doing some sort of ceremony which would make sure everybody knew, signing the appropriate papers, that you are surrendering. Usually has to do with land. Protean was a word that we looked at when we did our A to Z for mythology. Proteus is one of the minor gods, and he was known for being able to change his form. All right, and so protean is an adjective that means variable, able to change one's form easily, quickly. Okay, so there are certain things like Play-Doh and stuff could be protean. Some people are very talented. They can change not their form per se, but their jobs or their responsibilities. If they're, have a lot of talents, they may change from one job to doing something else, just because and they would be considered protean. Okay. Effrontery is kind of, not exactly, but kind of the opposite of deference. Effrontery is, it's a noun, and it's being just very bold, and like, I got to tell you, yesterday on the bus going home, there was an effrontery, what I would consider an effrontery, bold as anything. These boys are. One boy is giving this other a handful of marijuana. Just right there, bold as brass. I mean, and I thought that was an effrontery because it's public transportation. There are little kids on the bus. I'm sure that's not, I'm hoping that's not legal. I know the pot is, but certainly on public transportation. Anyway, I thought it was an effrontery. It's being bold in a rude and insolent and disrespectful way. Okay? Whet, W-H-E-T, whet is to stimulate, or the act. It could be a noun, the act of stimulating. For instance, it's like giving a teaser, like when I whet your interest, or I piqued your interest to remind you about how to do the swing. Last Friday, we started off doing a little bit of swing dance. All right, at the end, that's just to whet your appetite, okay, for that. Get you interested, okay? Inchoate is how it's pronounced. Inchoate is adjective. Inchoate means not thoroughly planned, not or formulated. it could be, a kind of chaotic because it's not thoroughly planned out. If lesson plans are incoherent, then they're not really planned out well. So there's a little bit of chaos and guesswork there. Okay, so not fully formulated. Okay, if you have a project that is inchoate, that means it's not done. It's just kind of in the beginning stages, and it's not formed or thoroughly planned out yet. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to pause here. Let's see which. I can't tell exactly where. Cloister. I'll do one more. Cloister is a noun or a verb. It all has to do with seclusion. If you're cloistered, you are in seclusion. You are, and cloister originally had to do with being kind of secluded in a religious institution, like a cathedral or something. Okay, like sanctuary. If you are cloistered, it can mean also that you are secluded due to retirement. You retire, and so you go into seclusion. Okay. Okay. I'm going to sign off here, and then I'll do. I can't read my numbers here, but I think it's 14 through the rest, 14 through 25, on another on take 2. All right. See you in a bit.